It's probably because of all the recent murders, but it's only 10 o'clock and there's no one in the park. The empty night hangs overhead. There, a white figure stands. Shiki! As soon as she sees me, Arcuied angrily yells at me. Hey, what time do you think it is? You're 20 minutes late. Ellipsis. It seems she came here right on time. Yeah, sorry. I left before 10 o'clock, but it took some time trying to leave the mansion without Akiha noticing. I'll definitely be on time next time, so please forgive me. Jeez, you don't seem to realize we're going to go killing. Arcuied practically pouts. Don't tell me, she was waiting long before the promised time? Arcuied, since what time were you waiting for me? Me? I came here as soon as I woke up, so... Arcuied thinks this over. Probably since 7 o'clock. 7? You were waiting for me more than 3 hours? What in the world was she thinking, coming here 3 hours early? It seems I'm strange. As if truly amazed, Arcuied mumbles to herself. Well, I'm partly to blame because I was late, but don't you have some issues too? If you come here before the agreed time, then of course you'll have to wait. Hey, that's something entirely different. The fact you were late doesn't change. Well, that is true. But why did you wait 3 hours? If you had that much time, couldn't you have just gone back to your room? I don't know why either. But somehow it was fun while I was thinking... it was somehow fun while I was thinking it was nice waiting for you. It was already 10 o'clock. And while I was thinking it was nice waiting for you, it was already 10 o'clock. I've done this recording, guys, I hope you know I've done this recording like 3 times now, and I always screw that sentence up. I don't know why. Fun? Why? Who knows? Didn't I say I didn't understand it myself? Maybe because you killed me. At that time, something broke that couldn't be healed. I think it's strange myself, but I can't understand what's broken inside me. Having her say that is very troubling. Having sliced her into 17 pieces, if she says there's something wrong, all I can do is apologize. It's okay. We don't have that much time, so we can't waste time talking about pointless things, Shiki. Yeah, saying that really helps me out. Oh wait, that was Shiki. Saying that really helps me out. But if you're ever late again, I'll just have to go to your house and pick you up. You're the one who couldn't keep the promise, so you have no complaints, right? No way! I'll keep it, but random unfortunate circumstances like today can happen at any time. If I'm late, that'd be the last thing you should do. Look, don't come to my house even if it's a mistake. What's more, Akiha doesn't know about all this, so please don't make things more complicated than it is. Akiha? Your sister that doesn't look at all like you? You've said a little too much, but yes. I see. You're that scared of your little sister? Oh, damn. Someone just got burned. Shut up. I just don't want to worry her. At the very best, I'm a bother to her. So I don't want to tire her out even further. You really are sweet to your sister, Shiki. I'm basically nice to everyone. Well, recently there's been an exception to that. Ahaha, that's me! You're always dense. That was an insult, not a compliment. Not at all. To you, I'm an exception, right? How can I not like that? She smiles again. A child smile, bright and carefree. Ellipsis. If I keep seeing that, I'll lose all my venom. I'm tired all of a sudden. Let's start looking for the vampire, Arcuied. Yes, it's about time. Then we'll start walking around town. Shiki, I want you to take off your glasses, but is that alright? Take off my glasses? Why? It's hard to notice them with just me. I can sense the presence of humans and non-humans, but that won't help me find the vampire. All I can sense is the presence, but with your eyes, you can quickly tell between living and dead things. So it's a waste if we don't use what we have, right? Certainly, I can understand what she's saying. But taking off my glasses means... I know, even I could feel your eyes getting stronger these past few days. And if you keep doing this, it may not be good for your health. I'm still saying despite that. But the choice lies up to you, so I'm not going to force you. If you think it's alright to do so, take your glasses off and follow me. Take off my glasses and walk around town? I haven't done that since I received those glasses 8 years ago. These glasses. In the first place, the things I see without my glasses give me such a headache. It'd be easy to imagine what would happen if I walked around town. But still, just like Arcuied, who keeps going even though her wound hasn't healed, Tonoshiki should do the same and pay back his debt. Arcuied, I'm fine. Isn't it just a headache? Compared to the pain her body must be feeling, this is nothing. It's fine. I can take off my glasses. It's a small price to pay to make our search easier. I see. Then let's go, Shiki. Arcuied turns around and starts walking. I take off my glasses as I follow her. I follow Arcuied. I haven't walked in scenery so riddled with lines since my hospitalization back then. Strangely enough, I don't get a headache. It seems just seeing them won't cause it. It's not the thin lines in the buildings, but seeing the lines on the people walking by makes me sick. Before, I thought they were just lines that were easy to cut along. But now, I know they are the death of things. That's why I feel disgust first. It's not that those figures of people scribbled over with lines are disgusting. Just seeing that humans are an existence so close to death makes me feel like throwing up. We walk the nighttime streets. Arcuied doesn't say anything, she just continues to stride forth resolutely. We walk for hours in the midst of town. In the end, we don't see our one aberration, not one person wrapped in death. Shiki, you can put your glasses back on. It seems like no matter how much we search tonight, it'll still be useless. Arcuied concludes with a sigh. I've put my glasses back on. My vision returns to normal and I relax. Useless? Is it okay to just decide that all of a sudden? We've only looked everywhere once, right? No, just once is enough. The presence of the dead tends to linger around a place. I haven't sensed any of them around at all, so there aren't any that are active. The enemy is alert now that most of his dead are defeated. Seriously, he really is a coward. I was so prepared to finish it all tonight, but it appears he still wants to play hide and seek. Arcuied bites her lip, dissatisfied. You look like you're in a bad mood, Arcuied. Of course I am. You went through the trouble to help me, but it's all meaningless now. Well, I don't really mind. If you're that dissatisfied, I don't mind going out to look again. Maybe if we concentrate more, we can find something. That's no good. I can't strain you anymore. Strain? I'm not really straining. You are. You might not realize it. You might not realize it, but if you abuse your brain anymore, you might end up disabled. What? Disabled? Who? You. That's right. You don't exactly know how your eyes work. Okay. You said yourself it was easier to see the death of living things than non-living things, right? Basically, it's a problem if the circuitry of your brain, the death of things. Being able to see that cause and effect, it's closer to reading than seeing. Everything has a main reason, the one source. It's the same thing that a German scientist called the Akashic Record. In other words, it's the core of all phenomenon. There is something that records all things. It's less of a record than an existence, so it isn't information. It just exists. It doesn't have any purpose in and of itself, or any direction. It's like a root swirl from which flows out all reasons. Things in this world flowed from that, derived from that, and preserved their current form. You and I, vampires and humans, were all originated from that. We all originated from that. Things become more complex and separate, and cannot return to that original source, the beginning. But, you understand that there exists the One, right? Neo? But no matter how different a form something takes from the Great Source, it is still a derivative. So even if it is only a slender line, there is a thread connecting to that source. The source of all things, the record that records the beginning and the end of all things. Being connected to that means knowing the end of all things. Originally, the brain has the ability to control reception and transmission, but most humans close off all of those circuits except for themselves. But there are those people who have their circuits open latently. Without a single use of magic circuits, there are humans who, despite not being a transcendental race, have the potential to create transcendent phenomenon. Magi classify them as being psychics. While still human, they are mutants born with magic circuits. Such as, without any learning of the occult, someone who can see the death of things. I'm sorry, Arcuied. It appears I can't understand this kind of conversation at all. It's okay if you can't understand. But what I want to tell you is that you shouldn't try to see things that are hard to see. Probably, if you want to, you can see the death of non-living things. But in order to do that, your brain has to open up its circuits from the classification of living things to the classification of non-living things in order to understand. Oh my god! Info dumping, people! Info dumping. That is normally an impossible process. As a result, it overloads your brain, and you'll end up being useless. Useless? You mean these eyes won't be able to perceive death anymore? Of course not. Hey Shiki, what happens to an engine that blows up from overload? It goes to the junkyard. Once an engine breaks, you can't use it again. Oh, that's it. In other words, the headache I get from seeing death is like the screaming of an engine that is working too fast. You understand? If you can just see it, it won't be a problem. But stop trying to see things and you can't perceive. The blood vessels in your brain will burst, and it'll all be over. I'm speechless. I've been living like this without realizing it, the seriousness of it all. You really have to thank the Magus who gave you those glasses. Most psychics use their abilities without realizing how dangerous they are and end up disabling themselves. Well, those kinds of people are often incompatible with society, so maybe that's just for the best. It seems like that's the reason I'm here. I'll let you go back to living the life you had before. Sensei said that and gave me these glasses. I have so much to thank her for. My chest tightens. That person, in so many ways, really did save me. I feel a sharp sensation. Not pain, but something strange, like an itch. Shiki? What is this? It was really only just for an instant, but it was like something in my chest. Was in my chest. Not understanding, I placed my hand inside my shirt. Wetness. Something is sticking to my chest, like ink. What is this? Something's wet. I pull out my hand from my shirt. In my open palms is bright red blood. Sting. Another strange sensation. It takes me a horribly long time to understand that it's coming from the old scar on my chest. Shiki, that's weird. It doesn't hurt, and it's not even an open wound, but there's blood all over my chest. It's so red. A beautiful, unmuddled red that steals my eyesight. Well, it doesn't hurt, so it's gotta be okay. It seems to have stopped bleeding, so there's no need to... Arcuied stares dumbfounded at my hand. No, more accurately, she stares at the red blood coating my hand. Arcuied? Arcuied doesn't respond. She just starts to breathe heavier. Pant, pant. As if she's trying to withstand pain. Hey, Arcuied, what's wrong? Does your wound hurt? I grab her shoulders, and then she jumps back as if she was trying to escape. She stares at me like I'm an enemy. Arcuied? Cheeky. Short, clipped. Her voice even contains enmity. I never thought about it. What? She averts her gaze awkwardly. What's wrong? You're acting strange. You still haven't recovered yet. Perhaps. It seems I pushed myself too hard. So I'll go back now. Yeah. I guess we'll call it a night. Yeah. I'll be waiting here tomorrow. Not looking me in the eye, Arcuied leaves quickly. Uh-oh. It seems the sight of blood may have possibly done something to Arcuied. Don't want to spoil it for those of you who might not understand. I go up the residential hill and arrive at the outskirts of the mansion. It's around 2 in the morning. As expected, I'm totally assailed by sleepiness. I wonder if she's going to be okay. I'm concerned about how she seemed when we parted. It seemed like she was in pain from her wound, but... What is that? It feels like there's someone lurking in the shadows not illuminated by the streetlights. Thump. My heart stops my breath. My blood rushes through my body. This sensation. Certainly, there's someone standing there. The figure gets closer and closer. Footsteps. The sound of dry footsteps reaches my ears. Thump. I have a bad feeling about this. Chills race up my spine. The figure draws near. Suddenly, the streetlights shatter loudly. The moon is hidden by the clouds. The whole world instantly turns to darkness. Thump. My heartbeat skips as if warning me of death. I jump back for no apparent reason. A blade runs through the darkness. Not being able to get away fully, my glasses are grazed by it. They fall to the ground with a clatter. What? The instant I start to say, "Are you?" Oh, who? The instant I start to say, "Are you?" the clouds part for a brief moment and illuminates the dark figure. What? A man wrapped entirely in bandages is gripping a knife. The bandaged man goes to attack me again. I quickly ready my knife and stop it. 2 slivers of light shoot towards each other. I can't think calmly. The fact that I'm being attacked causes my mind to panic. Clang, clang. Sparks fly from our clashing knives and scatter into the darkness. I still can't calm down. It's not because I'm being attacked. Clang. I swing my knife to cancel out the attacking me from every angle. The one attacking me from every angle. Yeah, I was trying to read that and I skipped over that one word and it confused the hell out of me because it didn't sound right. Why? What's surprising is that my body is completely stopping all the attacks from this darkness without a pause. In this darkness. My body's moving by itself? No, that's not it. All my arms are doing is seeking out the lines and points that I can see in the darkness with my glasses off. That's all I can see, so I swing my knife through the dark air after those lines. As a result, the bandaged man's knife is simply stopping mine. In other words, it's not that I'm defending myself, but he's defending himself from me. I can win. I don't know who he is, but there's no doubt. I'm overwhelming him. My blood rages forth for my advantage. I'll win. I'm stronger than him. Because I'm stronger, because he's trying to kill me, aren't I just returning the favor? Clang, clang. The sound of ringing metal echoes in the air, and I force him back towards the mansion wall. There. My eyes fixate on the line on his chest, and I thrust my knife forward. Momentarily, for some reason, I see a boy painted in blood and Akiha's crying face. I pull my knife back before completion. What am I? I'm trying to kill someone. Why? My head hurts. My legs wobble and I stagger backwards. As I do, I empty the contents of my stomach. My chest starts to itch. My head hurts and the old wound on my chest burns. My eyes feel like they're going to burst out of my sockets. I can't stop throwing up. Vomit splatters all over the asphalt. And there, the bandaged man comes after me with his knife. Clang! Another collision. My knife shoots towards his. This time, I really defend myself. I know where he's aiming. Since I know, I block him once again with another clang. Clang! 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 Despite not being able to see his knife due to its speed, I somehow manage to block it over and over. The reason I can defend myself is simple. Because where he's aiming are the lines on my body. So I know where he is aiming, and I understand more than anyone that having them cut would mean instant death, so I would have to defend it. No, wait. Aiming for my lines? It's the exact opposite of before. That means, don't tell me, The bandaged man smiles in the darkness. My heart rate goes out of control. Feeling some unnameable fear, I stumble backwards. He doesn't pursue me. He just smiles. His bloodshot eyes seem to be saying, "So you finally realized it," as he sneers at me. You can see them? Yes. He also can see the lines. Then he can also kill with one blow. The man laughs. He draws near me while laughing. I, even down to my fingers gripping my knife, tremble uncontrollably. Slice, slice, slice. The sound of flesh being pierced by a blade resounds 3 times. And then, a thud, a sound of a body hitting the wall. I can't grasp the situation. The bandaged man was suddenly pierced by 3 spear-like pipes. Not just pierced, but stuck onto the wall. Like an insect pinned by a bug collection, in a bug collection. "You're in my way." His voice grates awfully. At the same time, the 3 spears alight like candles and engulf him in flames. Ah! An anguished voice in the whirlpool of flames. In the darkness, that scene seems less cruel and almost beautiful. Ah! The bandaged man, no, the bandages are burned already, his skin is showing. Wrapped in the flames, the man stares at me. His bloodshot eyes filled only with murder. His black eyes are a weapon bent on crushing Tonoshiki. What? Stunned, I can only watch. He runs off into the distance, still engulfed in flames. The moon reemerges. After those flames and the crushing that cursing voice, everything returns to silence like it was before. I fall to my knees and lean against the wall. I look up at the sky. In the direction where those spears flew from, someone is standing high and far off. Far away, standing composed on top of the streetlight, I see a familiar figure. Robes like a priest from another country. Clenched in her hand, large, nail-like swords. Emotionless, pale eyes. blue, sky blue eyes. Senpai? Under the moonlight, I can only make out the silhouette, but she seems to resemble Senpai. Our eyes meet. The standing figure on top of the streetlight suddenly disappears like a ghost. I sit down roughly. Is it relief from my headache fading, or just the lifting of all this tension? Leaning my back against the wall, I start to drift off to sleep. It's probably not the best place to go sleep. Chapter 8. Death. That sounds very promising. White. The color white summons an old memory. Something forgotten. Something I was supposed to forget. Something my father commanded me to forget. A hot summer day. A blue sky and large columns of summer clouds. The wafting breeze and the droning voice of the cicadas. The voice of cicadas. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, 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 chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. So loud I want to die. Cicada shells are lying in the clearing. As if the sun is right by my side, the clearing is roasting. A hot midsummer's day. As if the entire world became a frying pan. Well. Oh god, that's so shameful to read that. Akiha is crying. Akiha, who would always obediently stay close behind me, is brimming forth with tears. A child lies collapsed at her feet. His white shirt is painted red with blood, and he doesn't move at all. I'm looking down at that. My hands are red, just like that child on the ground. No, that's not it. Those hands are red with the blood of that child. Akiha. The adults are coming. After seeing this sight, their expressions change rapidly. What in the... The adults take Akiha away. The child lies there, dead. In the distant sky, the white clouds. I'm left alone, staring at the sky aimlessly. Did you kill him? The adults are yelling at me. They shout my name, the one who killed the child. Those 2 syllables, shouting as if they went crazy. Just those 2 syllables. Those adults call me Shiki, as my hands are stained in red. I feel like I just saw an old familiar dream. I open my eyes. Ellipsis. In my room. After that, Arcuied losing consciousness by the mansion wall. After losing consciousness by the mansion wall, it seems like I somehow made it back there. Back here. My thoughts still aren't coming together. I remember the whirling events of last night. That man wrapped entirely in bandages, and how he could see the lines just like me. After he was impaled by those swords, his body burst aflame, and with a voice that sounded like his dying curse, he ran off. After that, I can only remember things vaguely. The figure on top of the streetlight. That figure that saved me, that seemed to resemble CL Senpai. Yeah, right. That can't be true. I finally wake up. Putting on my glasses, I get up in bed. The clock says it's past 8. Normally, I would have long since eaten breakfast by now, but today's a school holiday. Hisui isn't here. The figure of Hisui standing before the door like a shadow is nowhere to be seen. I'm sure she came here many times to wake me up, but I never did, so she probably went off to do other duties. I let out a deep breath. After I parted with Arcuied last night, the events afterwards were beyond my comprehension. The bandaged man and that figure that helped me, they're just not things I can understand no matter how much I try. Whatever the case, I have to meet Arcuied tonight. She has to be able to give me some answers. I'll talk to her about all the strange things, but for now, I have to just return to my normal life or I'll go crazy. Alright, first things first. Time for breakfast. People can't do anything on an empty stomach, after all. Shaking the sleep from my body, I go to the sitting room. On the second floor east wing hallway, I see a dark uniform. It's probably Hisue. It seems like Hisue was leaving Akiha's room. I guess we'll run into each other anyway, so it won't hurt to give a greeting. Hey, Hisue! I call out to her. Hisue realizes I'm here and quietly walks over to me. Good morning, Shiki-sama. Yeah, morning. Sorry for just waking up whenever I felt like it. I apologize as well. I should have been there when you awoke. Please forgive me. Hisue silently bows her head. Being apologized to like this after I left in the middle of the night and managing to get back to my room, I suddenly feel like the worst person in the world. There's no need to apologize. I didn't wake up at the usual time, so it's my fault. It's okay if you want to voice your complaints. Voice my complaints? Yeah. My friend always says I'm always a lazy bum, and he always tells me an occasional whack to get my back is a good set. Good to set me straight. Oh my fucking god, the sentence. Okay, let me try to read that. My friend always says I'm always a lazy bum, and he always tells me an occasional whack to my back is good to set me straight. Okay. Oh man, I've been reading this too fucking long, guys. I'm sorry about that. Hisue stands there thinking silently as she stares at me. It's like that for about a minute. She doesn't even blink, but she stares at me. I knew forcing Hisue to do such an ordinary thing would be impossible. Don't worry about it. Just forget it. More importantly, I'm kinda hungry. Is breakfast ready? Nei-san went outside. Your breakfast is ready in the dining room. Oh. In that case, I'll go have some food. Sorry to bother you while you were working. After saying a quick goodbye, I head downstairs. After breakfast, I return to the sitting room and come face to face with Hisue. Ah, that was good. Thanks for making such a great breakfast every morning. I bring my hands together in thanks. Preparing meals is Nei-san's duty. If you wish to compliment the meal, please tell Nei-san instead. That's true, but your duties are really completely separate. Such as like today, when only I slept in, I thought you might make it. Shiki-sama, are you saying that the breakfast was not to your taste? Eh? Her words are so off-topic that it's troubling. Did she think I was saying I wanted her to make breakfast because the breakfast tasted so bad? That's not it. Even cold, Kohaku-san's cooking is delicious. But I like it when it's warm. And it'd make me really happy if I got to taste your cooking, Hisue. I cannot do that. Shiki-sama, I refuse to cook for you. Her eyes suddenly take on a challenging look. Oh, I see. There's a typo right there. Yeah, I don't want to force you to do anything you don't want to do. You already do so much for me already. Hisue's embarrassed. Still silent, she faces me as if she wants to say something. What could it be? Is it something that's difficult for her to say? What's wrong, Hisue? Did I do something bad without realizing it again? Hisue shakes her head. No. She just stands there silently. Then I'll go back to my room. If you need me, please call for me. Later, I say as I start to walk out of the room. But before that, Hisue walks towards the lobby. Shiki-sama. This may be impolite, but I wanted to fulfill your request to the best of my ability. Huh? She looks directly at me. This morning, I came to realize how powerless I am. 7 times. I called out 7 times, but there was no response. Is this acceptable? 7 times? What do you mean? I'm totally lost as to what she wants to say. She turns around. To say it candidly, I think you are very dense, Shiki-sama. Hisui disappears into the lobby with her footsteps trailing in the air. Shiki's a heavy fucking sleeper. Huh? Left by myself, I blurted out stupidly. After thinking to myself a while, I finally realized she was complaining to me. It's okay if you want to voice your complaints. I said that earlier. That was my request? Yeah, there's no mistake. Hisui was thinking about it the whole time, and she was waiting for me in the sitting room just to tell me. Well, that is a complaint, but... She said it, but saying dense is a little too blunt, right? I don't really want to think it, but does Hisui really hate me? I go back to my room, but I don't really have anything to do there. Thinking about what I should do next, I decide to walk around the mansion I haven't explored in 8 years. I arrive at the lobby. Come to think of it, I was always getting yelled at for playing in the mansion as a kid. I'm no kid anymore to play in the mansion, and my old man is also gone. I used to get so excited just walking in the hallways when I was a kid, but now I don't feel anything at all. For some reason, I am aimlessly wandering around the mansion to confirm my childhood memories. The hallway stretches quite a long distance. When I was a child, I believed this hallway would go on forever. The mansion seemed as large as a castle, and every day I would walk a bit around the mansion and carve my name on the wall, the pillars, or the floor. It was sort of a game I would play with Akiya to see who could take over the mansion. Saying that wherever I put my name became my territory, it really was the two of us walking around the mansion and carving our names here and there. Just the two of us. Oh, here. Still here. On the handrail by the stairs is carved the name Shiki. It was probably because of the games that my old man forbade us from playing inside the mansion. These games that my old man forbade us. Anyway, if I look closely, I can see both my name and Akiha's all over the place. The spacious mansion. While I used to think it was like a giant castle, now it almost seems like an abandoned, haunted house. Because I've grown up since then. Akiha and I were not the Tono Akiha and the Tono Shiki that we were then. We're not the Tono Akiha and the Tono Shiki. That was a contraction, not what I thought it was. I go outside. Come to think of it, most of the time we spent playing was in the garden. Since Akiha was obedient to that old man, unlike me, she could only play outside for about 30 minutes a day. And still, she usually just stayed behind us, watching and listening. But she would energetically run out with us and compete with us in whatever games we would play. Perhaps her personality stems from those times? She might have suppressed herself in front of that old man. But still, Akiha has changed too much since then. Maybe these 8 years were a longer time than I thought. I go to the courtyard. Outside, the walls are also inscribed with the names. Shiki, Shiki, Akiha, Shiki, Akiha, Shiki, Akiha, Shiki, 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 Shiki. The ratios are like that, and the name Shiki appeared far more times. I suppose Akiha was just a girl, so she couldn't keep up with a boy. Jeez. It would have been better if I held back a bit. Cursing myself from that time won't change the number of my scribbles. If this was the case, I probably made Akiha pretty angry considering how much she hates losing. I see. Maybe she's taking it out on me now. I'm sure she's not the kind to do that, but if she did, that's a little cute. I'm an older brother, stupid for his little sister. Or maybe something else, something I don't want to even consider. Yeah, I really am. Well then. With a nostalgic, peaceful feeling, I stroll through the courtyard. Hisui? As I come to the rear courtyard, I see Hisui's figure from behind. Hisui doesn't realize I'm here. What is she doing going into the woods like that? What? A bit curious, I follow her from a slight distance. And, where Hisui headed to, there seems to be a small clearing. Huh? There's a clearing in that place? Tilting my head to the side, I try to remember, but for some reason my memory is a bit vague. In the forest of the mansion, I can see a clearing as if the trees were cut there. No, can see is not quite right. If you walk by normally, you probably would never notice it. If Hisui didn't walk there, hidden enough by the surrounding trees as it is, I would never have even noticed if I lived here all my life. What? Was that always there? If it was, we probably played there as kids. To say the least, I don't remember ever playing with Akiya in the clearing. I feel like I've never been there before. Ellipsis. After thinking for a bit, I decide to go into the clearing. The clearing doesn't strike me as anything out of the ordinary. I don't see any sign of Hisui. What's this? It's just an empty place. I walk to the middle. It really is just an empty space. The perfectly level open ground. The deep woods enclosing the area. The voice of the cicadas. And the strong summer sunshine that feels like it could dissolve. Summer sunshine? Ow, ouch. The wound on my chest starts to hurt. It's like stabbing, the pain that feels like a kitchen knife stabbing my chest. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. What is this? From somewhere I can hear the voice of cicadas. But it's autumn now. The summer sunshine bathes everything in white. Columns of summer clouds in the far sky. I can practically see the voices. At my feet, discarded shells of cicadas. Discarded shell. Someone's discarded shell. Ellipsis. My wound opens. My chest becomes painted in a dark crimson. Black vermilion soaks both my hands. Someone's crouched silhouette. The approaching footsteps of a young girl. The columns of clouds in the far sky. The discarded shells of cicadas. Then, in front of me, the crying face of Akiha, who is drenched in blood. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Voices which try to pierce my eardrums. Voices of the cicadas. My chest hurts. I feel sick. My wound hasn't healed a long time ago. Why does it hurt so much? My chest is broken. The old wound opens. Blood flows forth from the opening. What is this? My wound, it hasn't healed at all. It hurts. I'm scared. This is the impulse called death. My consciousness sinks. My wound hurts. My body collapses to the earth with a large thud.